I never imagined it would end like this. 20 years, 2 decades of marriage, of shared memories, of building a life together, gone in an instant. It started that morning with a text message that seemed innocuous at first: "We need to talk." I had thought it was about bills, the car, or maybe my mother visiting. But when she walked in, eyes red and trembling, I knew something far worse was coming. "It's just one mistake," she said, voice cracking. "I swear, it was only once. It doesn't mean anything." I was stupid, I didn't think. Her words stumbled over themselves as tears streamed down her face. My heart felt like it had stopped, my stomach ached, and a cold weight settled in my chest. I didn't speak at first. I couldn't. I remembered every anniversary we celebrated, every birthday we stayed up late planning surprises for each other, the nights we cried together, the mornings we laughed over coffee. I remembered the time she stayed awake by my hospital bed when I had the flu so bad I could barely move. I remembered our children's birthdays, our vacations, the house we'd spent years turning into a home. And now, she called it a mistake. Just one. I asked her quietly, "Who?" My voice was calm, almost eerily so, but the edges were sharp with disbelief. She hesitated, swallowed, and whispered a name. A name that tore through my life like a knife. I couldn't breathe. Images of betrayal, the countless nights of trust, the silent promises of fidelity, all crashed down at once. 20 years, and it came down to a single choice she had made, a single act that unraveled everything. She reached out to me, trembling, desperate. "I love you." It meant nothing. "Please, we can fix this." But how could we fix this? How could 2 decades be repaired after the foundation cracked so completely? I thought of the late-night talks, the gentle arguments, the laughter and tears we shared. And I realized that one act, selfish and hidden, had changed the way I saw her. The love I had carried for 20 years suddenly felt fragile, tainted by doubt and hurt I couldn't ignore. I left the room, needing space, needing air, needing to think. I walked through the house we built together, each room a reminder of a shared life. The living room with our first sofa, the kitchen where we danced while cooking, the bedroom where our children first cried, every corner whispered memories of trust and love. And every whisper now felt like a betrayal. Hours passed. She followed me, pleading, crying, trying to convince me it was a lapse, a mistake, not the end. But as I stood by the window, looking at the street below where the sun was setting, I understood the painful truth: some mistakes aren't small. Some mistakes shatter lives. Some mistakes, no matter how fleeting, redefine everything. When I finally spoke, my voice was calm, steady, but heavy with finality. 20 years of love, trust, and shared life are over. You can call it a mistake, you can cry, you can beg, but what you did has changed us forever. I can't look at you the same way again. I can't trust again the way I once did. She fell silent, disbelief and sorrow etched into her features. I didn't need to shout, I didn't need to scream. My calm words, the certainty in my voice, cut deeper than any anger could. She had hoped I would forgive immediately, that the bond of 2 decades could withstand a single error. She didn't realize that trust, once broken, cannot simply be repaired with words. I packed my bag that night. Each item I folded was a reminder of what had been, of a life that was no longer ours. I didn't rush, I didn't slam doors, I didn't yell. I left quietly, carrying only memories and the painful clarity that our marriage, no matter how long, had ended. She tried to stop me, tried to plead one last time, but I didn't look back. 20 years of shared life had been destroyed in moments, and no apology could rebuild what was gone. I left the house with a heavy heart, but with the knowledge that I could no longer stay in a life where betrayal lingered in the air like a permanent shadow. Outside, the cool night air hit me, and for the first time since hearing the words, I breathed freely. Not in relief, not in joy, but in the stark realization that some things, no matter how cherished, cannot survive the weight of betrayal. She cried behind the window, her sobs echoing through the quiet street, but I kept walking, each step carrying me further from the life I had known and deeper into a future I would have to face alone. 20 years had ended not with a fight, not with a dramatic confrontation, but with the devastating truth of one mistake. And in that truth, I understood a painful, bitter lesson: some bonds, no matter how long, cannot survive the fracture of trust. That night, as I walked away, I realized that love, no matter how strong, can be undone in an instant, and that some endings are inevitable, even after a lifetime together.